What's going on, everybody? It is your boy Trey Sense. It's been a minute. Welcome back to the channel. And I laugh at myself because I just completed a video, went through the entire video and forgot to hit record. So we got to start all over. So this is take two. Hope you all have been well. It's been a lot going on. I've been to the dentist, had a tooth pulled, went back to the dentist, had 2 teeth filled, took a trip to the beach. And now I'm going to tell you all about it and the fragrances that I wore throughout that time period. It's kind of going to be 2 weeks jammed in. I don't remember everything, the occasions. Some of them I remember, some of them I don't. I'll tell you what I wore to the beach and I'll tell you what I wore to different things, but I don't remember some of it. So before I get into that though, I need a favor from you. I need you to like this video. I need you to share this video. And if you haven't already, please sub to the channel. We're so close to 4,000 subs, and that will be a great milestone for a little old reviewer like myself. No further ado, let's get into it. I've just done this, crazy. The fragrance that I wore last night, a friend of mine gave her son a celebration party for graduating from massage therapy school. And this was the fragrance that I wore from the house of Azzaro from the Wanted line. It is Wanted Parfum. And I like this fragrance. It comes out a little bit resinous, but it dries down to a very, very sweet fragrance. You do pick up on the Wanted DNA, and to me, that is good. When I buy a flanker, I want to be able to smell the similarities. To me, that's what ties it all together. If not, give it a different name. Does this smell exactly like everything else from the Wanted line? No. Does it have the Wanted DNA in it? Yes. My favorite from the Wanted line so far is the black one, which is the Most Wanted and Wanted by Night. Those are my 2 favorites. This one is coming in pretty close. Wanted Tonic is really good. It just gets completely overlooked. And the original Wanted is good as well. I will be picking up the Most Wanted Parfum first chance I get, but Most Wanted and Wanted by Night are probably the 2 I would recommend you get first, and then go back and get the original Wanted, and then get this one, and then Wanted Tonic. Wanted Tonic to me is better for the spring and summer, but it's still a really good fragrance. But this is what I wore last night. Got crazy compliments. People wanted to stand around and smell me, which I think is funny. It's just like, I charge for that. But from the house of Azzaro, it is the most, from the house of Azzaro, it is Wanted Parfum. Crazy compliments on that one. Now this one I wore, I don't remember when I wore it. The situation I wore it in, I don't remember getting a lot of compliments on it. I just honestly don't remember. But from the house of Valentino, it is Valentino Born in Roma Yellow Dreams. And the bottles of the Valentino fragrances are beautiful. Now, I'll be honest with you. If you have the OG Born in Roma, you may not need this one. Are they different fragrances? Yes. The difference is in the opening. The dry downs are very, very similar. This one has a fresh, fruity, pineapple-y type of opening. No, nothing like a Ventus, nothing like that, but you will pick up on subtle nuances of it. It is fresh. It does smell really, really good. And I like this fragrance. I got it, again, off Macari, got a really good deal on it. When I first got this fragrance, I was just like, man, it doesn't last that long. But then I did some research and found out that sometimes you have to wear the fragrances 3 or 4 times, let the bottle get enough air and let the alcohol and just some things evaporate and mix and blend, and then the fragrance performs better. And that may be the case with this one as well, because the second time I wore it, it was extremely beachly. And I was just, well, not the second time, actually about the 5th time. So I was just like, it smells good and I like it. Now, I'm a huge fan of the Valentino Uomo line. I think they're all good fragrances, from Aqua to Intense. I think they're really, really good. And I like this one as well. But I'm just saying, be mindful, if you already have Born in Roma, you may not want to get this one. Just saying. But it is a great fragrance nonetheless. Nonetheless, I think it's more of a summertime, fresher version than the others. Because Aqua and that one, I think you can wear more year round, and maybe the original Uomo. But the other ones I think are a little bit darker and meant more for nighttime or cooler weather. All right, another one that I wore, and I remember I wore this one when I went to get my teeth filled from the house, and I remember that because I wore a polo hoodie. So I wore Polo Green or Polo Cologne Intense. Now, think the original Polo Green, and then think all the stuff that you didn't like about the original Polo Green and throw it out the window and think about this one. Compliment getter. I went into a convenience store, and in Alabama, all the gas stations cook food. That's why we big in our back down here. You can get good food everywhere. So go into the gas station, and they have fried chicken, all this stuff. I mean, it's a deli, you know. So I say that to say you got food cooking, right? So I leaned forward to tell the little lady that what I want, and she goes, "You smell good." I said, "Huh?" She said, "Whatever it is you got on, you smell so good." And she was a younger lady. She may have been late 20s, early 30s. Polo Cologne Intense. Now, you pick up on subtle nuances of the original Polo Green and that earthiness and that outdoor woodiness, but it's toned down to a very wearable, enjoyable note. It's not loud, it's not obnoxious, it's not nose burning the way that the original Polo Green can be. This one is the complete opposite, and it is a compliment getter, and it has a certain freshness. I guess that's where the word cologne comes in this. I'm not sure what concentration it is, because very rarely do you have the word cologne and intense used together, because they're two different. Actually, I don't think intense has a percentage. You know, normally cologne is a certain percentage alcohol, EDT is a certain percentage, EDP is a certain percentage, and then parfum is a certain percentage. I'm not sure what intense. I don't think intense does. And then extract is a certain percentage of perfumer's oil to alcohol and all of that. So, but nonetheless, what is when I went to get my teeth filled, my cavities filled, lots of compliments. It is intense. It is strong. You won't think it's there, but 3 or 4 days after I hung my hoodie up, I could walk by my hoodie and be like, it smells good. That's one that I think you guys should get in your collection. And you can get that fragrance really, really cheap from Fragrance X or Fragrance Net. And by cheap, I mean under $40. And that's not bad for a polo, or around $40. And that's not bad for a polo fragrance. So, yeah. Moving along. Let's talk about what I wore to the beach, okay? Let's get that out of the way. So I took 5 fragrances down there with me. One that I took from King's Gate Fragrance is Gourmandia. From Mont Blanc, I took Legend Spirits. From Sensual Obsession, I took Beach Bum. And from Sensual Obsessions, I took Florida Keys. And I took one more from Sensual Obsessions. I want to think it was Sea Breeze or something Breeze, but I left it in my friend's car by accident. So, yeah. Now, I got compliments the entire time I was down there. Side note, one of the fragrances that I look to add to my collection, and I'll draw it back into this, is from the house of Dolce & Gabbana. It is Light Blue Summer Vibes. Went to the mall. I went to Belk's to just smell some different fragrances, and the lady in there was raving about this one. I smelled the newer Mont Blanc Explorer, the one in the silver bottle, a gray bottle. Personally, I liked it. I thought it was a great smelling fragrance. The young lady behind the counter did not. The young lady that was with me did not. Personally, I liked it. I thought it smelled good. The young lady behind the counter was raving about this one. So when I got home, I was like, I need to wear that just to see. And it reminded me of the Dolce & Gabbana Summer Vibes, which is one I will be getting. But this is one of the fragrances that I wore to the beach. Crazy compliment getter. It just smells good. It's fresh. It's citrusy. It's easy. Now, Sensual Obsessions. Beach Bum. I think this is his version of Beach Hut Man. But what I got, and I want to show you guys something. Just so you don't think that I'm one of these reviewers that get on here and just run his mouth about stuff. Do you see the levels on that bottle? I mean, do you see the levels? Now, you know You know the fragrances I got in my collection. You see them a lot. You know I got some fragrances. Not being boastful, just being honest. Just being honest. So how many times do you think I have had to reach for this to put it in a bottle? Just saying. Now, what this one is, I just felt like it was great for the beach. It's a little bit tropical. Very strong, very potent. It's just good vibes is what I get from this fragrance. But I do think it's their version of Beach Hut Man from Sensual Obsessions. If not, Kev will correct me in the comments down there, and that is perfectly fine. Florida Keys. This one to me is a beach scent made to be worn in the evening. It's got a little bit of a hint of gourmand with a little bit of a boozy citrus accord, and it is stunning. I like this one. I like this one. And I haven't had this one all that long. But again, you see the dents in these bottles, people. I wear this stuff because it honestly gets me compliments. People love it. I get tons of compliments. Talk about a great bang for your buck. So y'all definitely need to go over to Sensual Obsessions and see the boy Kevin Hall and get yourself something. Now, it seems like I wore that one out at night because it wasn't hot, but it wasn't cold down there either. Temperatures in the days most of the time was low 70s at night, high 40s, low 50s. So, you know, perfect weather for a hoodie at night. Didn't get cold, but, you know, didn't get hot either. Now, from King's Gate Fragrances, I wore Gourmandia, and it is just what it says. It's a gourmand, and yes, I wore this at the beach. I sure did. Again, especially at night because the temperatures dipped. So the Florida Keys and this one came in handy at nighttime, you know, because you go out to eat, you know, for lunch during the day, and then at night you go out to eat again. So, you know, needed something to cut through that little bit of coolness. And this one was perfect. This one was perfect. Again, tons of compliments. And the thing about all of these fragrances, they stay on all day long. And this one is a sweet gourmand fragrance. A little bit creamy, a little bit buttery. It reminds me of something from Givenchy. I can't remember the name of it. And it also reminds me of something that I have for Cremo. So it'll come to me as soon as I cut the camera off. I'm just glad I remembered to cut the camera on. Just saying. All right, now back to the regular week. I don't remember where all I wore these fragrances, but from the house of, I remember where I wore this one now, from the house of Coach. It is Coach Green. Had a little lunch encounter with a lady friend of mine, and I wore this. Went to a little Mexican restaurant, sat down and ate, and she was like, ooh, you smell good. Coach Green. Fresh, vibrant, fruity. The green in it isn't like a foresty green. It's more of a fruity green. I think it's kiwi or something like that. But nonetheless, this one I think will be at discounters really, really soon, as most Coach fragrances do. If you have a chance to pick this one up on the Humbug, on the low, I think you should. I think you will enjoy it. It is a great fragrance. Excuse me. Get to smelling all these fragrances that get you right here. But I think this is a really great fragrance from the house of Coach. It is Coach Green. And this was a gift from my boy JP at JP Frags. And I forgot to mention that this was sent from that old Kansas City Chiefs fan, Mr. Lamar Gaston. He gave me that. I appreciate that so much. Now, I've got 3 more fragrances left. I think I got 3 more. Nope, 4 more. No, I've already done that one. I'm gonna mention it again though, just in case I forgot. From the house of Azaros. What is this? This is Wanted Parfum. Pretty sure I did that one already, but yeah. I wore that last night too. Yeah, because I was telling you about, yeah, I've already done that one. Next on the list And this is one I really, really enjoy. It may be my favorite from the line, from the house of Paco Rabanne, from the line of Invictus. It is Invictus Trey Legend. Just kidding. It's Invictus Legend. I think this one has been discontinued, but I like it. I like it a lot. It just comes off as clean. You do pick up that Invictus DNA in it, and I think that is what makes it a winner, because I like to smell the DNA. So you have the Invictus DNA, and then it almost like it's gonna go blue, and then it goes clean. To me, it's just a well-made, versatile fragrance. And I think Invictus is a great, great line of fragrances. Yes, they've been talked about. Yes, they've been done to death, but you have to put it up there to me with the YSL Ys, the YSL L'Homme, the Dior Sauvage line, the Dior Homme line, and Invictus. I think when it comes, just talked about them, the Valentino line, Valentino Uomo line. I think those are some of the best lines, meaning from original throughout the flankers. It doesn't really matter which one you pick up, you're not going to miss with any of those fragrances or any of the flankers, and I think they smell good, and Invictus Legend is no exception. It smells good to me. A little bit fruity, a little bit playful, a little bit blue, and then it goes off in a little bit of a different direction from the rest of the Invictuses. And it's almost like it wants to go minty, maybe a slightly methanol type of vibe, but then it comes back off of that. But from the house of Paco Rabanne, it is Invictus Legend. I like that fragrance. I even like the bottle. Sprayer can be a little bit, but still. Two more, guys, from the house of, and this may have been the last fragrance I wore to work because, abruptly I was taken off. I didn't know I was going to be off, but from the house of D2, it is wood. And honestly, if you're starting a fragrance collection, if you're a young guy and you come across this video and you're starting a fragrance collection, look this up and see if you can find it cheap. It was expensive and then the price just bottomed out, and I'm not sure where it is now. But wood is the perfect name for this fragrance because that's what you get. A really sweet, easy to wear wood. This fragrance is so simple that everybody loves it. This is a compliment monster, and it'll have you scratching your head like, I don't get it, and you won't. But what you will get is a lot of compliments. So if you put this on and you wear it, the first time you go in somewhere and somebody tells you smell good, if you're starting your collection with this, you're gonna be bit by the frag bug, and you're gonna be like, yup, I'm killing them from here on out. I'm killing them. 75 sprays of wood, and I'm in there. And it's got a magnetic cap. How ironic that a fragrance with a wooden cap named wood would have a magnetic cap. But it works. And so does that Invictus. Now it's getting to the stage where that fruit is coming up through that menthol. Killer. But this one, every time I wear this fragrance, I get mad compliments, and I'm just shaking my head like, I wore Gourmand Truffle sitting under the bridge in London while watching the clock tower tick yesterday, and you said nothing. I come in here with D2 wood on and you go crazy. You just can't make it make sense. Also, I forgot, compliment on this one. I wore this, I had to stop by my job yesterday before I went to the party to drop off something. Young girl in her teens, you smell good today, Trey. This is what I had on. It's a compliment getter. It looks like a Christmas ornament, but it's a compliment getter. Last but not least, one I pulled out of my collection because I haven't worn it in forever, and I just thought that I should, from the house of Versace. It is Versace's Dreamer, and this one may have lost some kick. It may have lost some of its potency because I've had this bottle about 9 years. And it may have made it a better fragrance. It may have made it a little bit more pleasant because it's not as much of a punch in the face. It's not as strong. But you still have that manly powderiness to it, and it just laid down right. I was just like, man, that smells really good. So if you got some Versace Dreamer, you may want to dig it out. Now, it's still strong. It doesn't smell watered down. It doesn't smell like any of the notes have tarnished. You know what I'm saying? Because I've had fragrances where a note or two have gone bad, and it's like, that is Raid. That is off bug spray. I'm chunking that. I don't get, that's not the vibe I got from this. I got the vibe that it just simmered down a little bit, and it's good. Now it lasted all night, and I got compliments all night, but it didn't, I didn't get the feeling or remember it being as strong as it used to be. Now it's been years since I've worn this, but you know, from the house of Versace, it is Versace Dreamer. Man, that is it. That is the fragrances that I've worn over the last couple of weeks. Occasions that I wore them and everything that I did that I can recall. I didn't write it down because, you know, I wasn't here for a lot of it. I did go to the beach, and in between getting the tooth pulled and teeth filled, boy, a little bit. But today is Sunday at the recording of this video, and I'm going to release it a little bit later, so you'll get it hopefully maybe around 12, 1 o'clock. Get it? Maybe 2 o'clock. Whenever you see it, you see it. So happy Sunday. Hope everybody's having a great day. And then I got to get ready to go back to work, man. I did enjoy my time off. But anyway, I love you all. May God bless you all again. We're so close to 4,000 subs. Your sub may be the one to put us over. Also, any of these fragrances, except for the small bottles, any of the big bottles, I will decant if you are interested in buying some decants. Email will be in the description. Just hit me up and I will get out what you like, all right, for a small nominal fee, and my fees I think are reasonable. So with that being said, I love you all. May God bless you all. Until next time, guys, deuces.